Hi, I'm Michelle Cooper, and welcome to the crafty side of my studio. I'm sharing with you a recent project of mine. I guess you could call it a junk journal style tag folder. I'm using it as a kind of a thank you card for a gift that I was given recently. So let me show you through it. It's based on Alice in Wonderland and the Mad Hatter. So I have the front of this, which has the hat with a velvet hat band and some hat pins, two little hat pins here, one with a teacup. Here's the little tag that says in this style. I got these papers and images from Andrea Allen on ARTYmaze. Really wonderful stuff. Here's a tag from that set of images. How long is forever? Sometimes just 1 second. So the tags are made so that you can journal on the back, and then every corner has a different design as well, so that if you have the tags out and you use them for something else, then it still looks nice on the cover and on the back. So put photos on there, sketches, journaling, whatever you want. There's a couple of tickets in here. This is from ARTYmaze. I forget where this is from, but I think it might be the Graphics Fairy or Old Design Shop, maybe. Couple. Here's an Alice colored ribbon with an I sewed a button on there, teeny tiny button. Along with the visual experience, there's a lot of tactile input as well. Stringy baker's cord, very smooth and silky satin ribbon. There's twine around it, some cheesecloth, some rough tape, organza. Even the beads have a variety of textures on them, from china to bumps and smooth gems. There's a velvet ribbon with silvery metal rhinestones. There's lots to look at and lots to experience here. And that's the front. You can see other tags and ribbons sticking out from the rest of the folder, but I'll show you the back first. Okay, so here's the back. This is the fabric from the bow tie in the movie about Alice in Wonderland. Here's the Twinkle Twinkle Little Bat poem, and this refers to something that's hidden in the rest of the, somewhere in the rest of this card. Here's a little tag with a red satin ribbon tied with jute and ready to write on the back. Here's another tag that has a brand on it so you can see the teacups. And here's a picture in the back. And we'll put this back in here. Let's put this one on here like this. And then we'll open up the front. To the middle. So here's the center of the folder. I made a sort of a see-through pocket here with reinforcement of the ARTYmaze paper washi tape, like mushrooms, and that way you can see through whenever you put something in there. You can see the bottom of this, and it makes it more visual room. There is a raven and a writing desk. A question that's always asked and has no answer. Perhaps you'll come up with it. There's my little card crafted. Here's free. This came from a person in South Africa who allows you to use these for free. They're like Alice cards. So here's the one with Alice and her flamingo croquet set and the hedgehog at the bottom. And then here's the white rabbit with a question for you. Why is a raven like a writing desk? So we'll put these in here like this after I put my handmade, hand-drawn artist trading card here, a raven, and a writing desk reference. There will be the thank you note on the back of this. I'll put this back in here like this so you can see the writing at the bottom. And then you can slip these in. These can all be moved around the way you like. Over here we have a flamingo paper clip and a little ticket. This is from ARTYmaze's kit, as well as this. I just back this up with some extra paper with the question for you and a place for you to write the answer. Let's see. Then you pull on these little strings that have little charms on them. Looks like suits of cards. You pull that up and you see that you have an invitation to play croquet with the queen. While you're there, perhaps you have an answer for this question. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Okay, here's some haircut styles. And almost invisible, we see there's another card here. Has a squirrel on it. Bob's your uncle. Here are Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and that reference is for the person who's receiving this. Little inside joke. Okay, with the squirrel. So I'm going to put that back in there. Put this back in here like this. Put this over the top so that you can, it'll hold itself in. There we go. And back to the paperclip, flamingo paperclip, and ticket. And then hang these things right over the top of it. And I think you've seen everything. So that was really fun to make. Now, I'm going to do a little cameo, I call it a cameo tutorial. There's lots of them on how to make these hat pins, but because this is unique to this particular project, I thought you might like to see how I make it. So that's next on this video. Keep watching. So I put two little hat pins, of course, in the Mad Hatter's hat, and one of them has a little teacup dangling from the side here, made much like this one. And so I thought I would do a little cameo, since there are so many tutorials on how to do this. I don't need to do too elaborate of a thing for you. First of all, you're going to need some two different types of pliers, the round nose ones and the regular grip kind for holding on to stuff. And then I use maybe either one of these types of stick pins, or, you know, lapel pins, whatever you want to call them, for my fake hat pins. They're not very long. And then, so maybe one like this, or maybe one like this. I think I'm going to do one that reminds me of the Queen of Hearts, so I think this is much more royal looking. I'll bring some more stuff out here so you can see what I'm choosing from here. Alright, and then, so I choose this, and then I'm going to need some jump rings. I've got a couple of them in here. So the jump rings, and something to dangle. And I'm going to choose this little pink heart to do that with. But you could put anything on there if you like. Buy little charms. Okay, so let's see. We'll start out on, and the kind of glue that I use is Glossy Accents. That holds things very nicely. You'll see how I set them up to dry in a little bit. So I'll put that over here like this. Okay, so then I have to choose my things. Let's see. What am I going to choose here? I'm going to have that for the dangle. The dangly thing. So probably I should put that on one of these little deals. See, it fits in the middle of here like this, and then you can hang things off the end. See, I'm not a jeweler or a professional of this by any means. I just go with whatever I feel would be fun to do. So I'll take a jump ring and put it in here. Whoops, where am I? Okay, kind of hard to see through this. There. And then put this one also. See? You can hold it with pliers, but these jump rings are pretty flexible too, so I can just wiggle it a little bit till it goes back. Closed. There we go. See, now this is hanging on here like this. We'll see how that works in just a minute. Okay, so then first thing I think, so now I'm going to use one of these bead caps. I know, sticks this underneath here and makes it look more royal. Okay, then what color? Then maybe red for the Queen of Hearts. And then maybe this dangle. So we'll put that in there like this. Let's see if that's going to go right side up. Nope. Go the other way around here. See if that's going to go right side up here. Yes. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, then green. I like this pale green color. I see that a lot in the illustrations of the Queen of Hearts. This pink color and then this red color. And then maybe one more thing, maybe a tiny glass bead here at the bottom. And that's about all the space I want to use up because I need some room here for poking it into something and attaching it. So I think that's looking pretty good. All right, so we'll take these things away now. And then what I do, use this Glossy Accents glue here. And put a little bit, oops, a little bit on the end of the diamond. I'm waiting for the glue to come out. Gonna come out? Maybe not. Maybe I'll have to use a pin to open that up again. Just a tiny bit. Okay. Now, there we go. Just a little bit on the end here. Then a little bit on the end here and let it flow in there around to touch this bead. And then this one in between, and this one in between here, just so it'll stick to the pin just enough. The thing I like about this glue, Glossy Accents, will dry clear, so you won't really see too much of anything. Although I don't like to get too much of the glue onto the beads because then they don't sparkle as much. So close this up right away. Make sure that it sticks. Make sure I like the way it looks. Oh, I didn't really check that, did I? Oh yeah, that's cool. That is cool. Okay, so now here comes the disreputable dirty sponge from my watercolor projects. Nice and dry. So what I do is I'll just use that to poke this into, and it'll hold it sturdy. It's a dry sponge, so it'll hold it sturdy like this for overnight until the glue sets. So I'm not a professional jeweler by any means, but I just do this because it makes me happy. And it's fun to decorate my folders with it and my junk journals. So why don't you give it a try? And then we'll have this. So maybe it's dry enough. No, not yet. Not quite dry enough to see how cool this looks, but let's put it like this. And like that. That's like a king and a queen, isn't it? Okay. So that's how I make my little hat pins to dress up the hat on this particular folder. Here is a little bit closer look to see how these ones turned out. They were made exactly the same way as my demonstration. And I put a thin little piece of foam behind the ribbon so that I could have a more secure way of attaching the stick pins. So, thanks for watching. See you next time.